the screen, I'll be showing you a picture. Let's say a picture something like this. This picture will be shown to you for approximately 30 seconds. Thereafter, the picture will be removed. And this picture deliberately will be hazy by nature. I not made it clear, it will be hazy by nature. And now, 30 seconds, the picture is gone. After this, for the next 4 or 5 minutes, you are expected to write a story based on this picture that you have perceived. And in that story, you have to write certain mandatory things, which I will explain a little later on the screen. What are those mandatory things? You have to explain who, how many people are there on that screen, give a geographical position to each one of them, give the sex of that particular individual, male or female. Then you're supposed to write the approximate age of that particular character. And finally, what you have to do is, you have to write whether the mood of that picture is positive or negative. And then you write the story. I've seen 4 people in this picture. The mood is positive, the male so and so, whatever. And then you write your own part of the story, how to write it, and explain it separately. So having written that part of the story for the next 4 or 5 minutes, thereafter the story will be taken away from you. And all this is happening for all the candidates of India-SSB. There will be 100, 200, 300, 400, any number. So after you written that story, the story will be taken away from you people, and then you will all be shepherded outside. Outside, you'll have a GTU like me, who will receive all of you and distribute you candidates to manageable groups of approximately 20 each. Say there are 100 candidates, so you'll be distributed to 5 groups of 20 each. The first batch of 20 will be called inside a particular room, where you will have the recruiting officer, the psychologist, and a GTO, and your candidates will be sitting in a semicircle, and over there, the GTO will conduct you, and he will ask you people to narrate your individual perception of the story that you just watched, sequentially, starting from candidate number 1 to candidate number 20. 1 minute. Just 1 minute will be given for you people to narrate your individual story. Don't go left, right, you go. Because if you start pulling the story and going beyond 1 minute, the GTO will say next, meaning the next candidate. So be brief, be to the point, and be on target. So all 20 of you will narrate one after the other. So 20 minutes, let's say, goes in narration of your story. After you have narrated your story, thereafter, the GTO will tell you candidates to discuss amongst yourself and come with a common consensus of what is the solution that you have perceived from the perception. So each one of you tell your story and try to convince each other and talk and follow. And at the end of this 10 minutes, you are given 10 minutes, at the end of this 10 minutes, one out of you, as nominated by most of you candidates, or all of you candidates, or some of you candidates, is expected to stand up and give out the syndicate solution. That's the PPDT, and thereafter it's over. Then this group is sent outside, the next group is called inside. And this sequence continues until all the candidates go through the same process. Any doubts? Any clarification until now? Okay. If there are no doubts, no clarification, let me try and do an action replay of what is expected of you people. You understood what I said? When you show a picture, you write a story, you go outside, individually each one of you will narrate your story, then you discuss, and one is nominated, and based on this selection, and it's over. So tell me honestly, in this entire scheme that I just explained, what are you looking at? What exactly is your aim in this whole sequence? That I should be nominated. That I should be nominated to give out the syndicate solution. Because the best guy or girl will be the one who is syndicate nominated. So your expectation is that I should be nominated to give out the syndicate solution. Period. Now, if you were expecting to be nominated to give out the syndicate solution, what is the step before that? That your discussion should have been different. What I told you, earn brownies, remember? So your discussion part will have to be a little different. So discussion forms a very, very important part. But let me caution you, the discussion invariably is a fish market. You hear the other person, whatever, but the fact is, if I've chosen to go and buy fish, I never come back home without buying fish. So you need to know how to survive in the fish market. How to enter the conversation, how to get out of it. So the discussion part is the next most important part of this PPDT. Let's go a step backwards. Believing that the discussion is a fish market. Nobody, including the GPU and all the SSS, would understand, nor could you understand. So, which is the next step? It's your individual narration. Here, nobody is to blame but you. You are given 1 minute. You are given 1 minute to narrate your story the way you think it will be convincing enough for everybody else. And that 1 minute is good enough for a few to already buy the story. You expect to be nominated to give out the syndicate solution. For that, your discussion should be period. For that, your individual narration should be good. And then the last part was your story writing. To be honest with you, hundreds of candidates coming and going, most of us don't have the time to read hundreds of your individual solutions. It's a rare case that you may read or I may read or may not read. Got it? So this is the sequence of your PPDT. A few things. Number one, that 1 minute of your narration cannot be bad. It has to be absolutely flawless. And in that 1 minute, you have to communicate in confidence, with fluency, with substance in that 1 minute, whatever you have perceived of that story. In the group discussion, thereafter, please try to participate. Learn the habit of how to enter a conversation and how to get out of it. Both are important. Entering a conversation is important, and exiting a conversation is equally important. And then, of course, the nomination part. Invariably, what happens in the nomination part of the SSB is the three scenarios. Number one, nobody is nominated. Because nobody wants to nominate another person in the fear that if I nominate him over her, वो select हो जाएगा, मैं select नहीं होगा. Number two, multiple people are nominated. He nominates this, that nominates this, so there is confusion. And the last one, which is providence, that one candidate is unanimously appointed by the rest of the group. But the last one is a little dangerous. There are some candidates in some group, I'm just giving you group dynamics as I've seen, to make sure that this and this candidate is participating very well. So a particular candidate goes and nominates this candidate. And that candidate has not participated at all in the entire group discussion or whatever, couldn't even complete his opening her story in the narration part. That is because he does not want the others to be part of this thing. He nominates the weakest person. And that person says, मैंने गलती क्या किया? Why have you nominated me? I just come here to enjoy Bangalore. So why have you nominated me? That is also the possibility. Now, when it comes to a concept where multiple people are nominated, you and you are nominated. Here, fastest finger first. Meaning, everybody wants. So, don't try to kick the bucket and stand up and jump and whatever. Be honest. Okay, you don't mind, thank you. Can I? Whatever. You are very modest. Without antagonizing the others. Stand up and give all the solution. And the first, what I told you, none are nominated. If none are nominated, wait for 15 seconds. And one out of you who has participated in the group discussion and otherwise can volunteer with a modest body behavior, saying that, okay, friends, if you don't mind, can I give out the syndicate solution? It is unlikely that somebody will say, no, don't give out the. But these are the basic framework of your PPDT as to how to go about. But you have to participate in this from stage 1 to stage 4. A lot of people ask me, how important is the story that you write versus the story that you narrate when you come outside the PPDT hall and you say. I would say, try and stick yourself to the story that you've written to the extent possible. But if you think that your story is so out of the box, not matching with anybody else, be smart enough to change your story. I told you there are 100 people. Each group takes 20 minutes. There are 3 groups waiting outside. The 4th group will come 80 minutes later. They are standing outside, eating samosas and tea. So they have got 80 minutes to understand and reframe. Be intelligent, don't be confused. Now, having said this, hence comes the most important part. Again, I go back to the same inaction. Being nominated is the most important thing. To be nominated, your discussion is important. Your discussion is preceded by your individual narration. Tell me, if you have to discuss, don't you think there has to be some commonality between your story and the other man's story. Only then you can discuss. Because if there is all 19 of you bring about a particular pattern of story, and then the 20th guy who brings the out of the box story, so that poor guy will feel like a crow with a peacock feather, not able to participate. So hence the most important thing is try and bring about a story which has the probability of at least 4 to 5 takers in your group. Only then the discussion can. So hence, keep the story simple. Don't put it so much out of the box that you have nobody else participating in that story. I'll give you an example, a live example which I saw the other day. The picture showed 2 people sitting across the table this way. So the pattern of the story had this variance. Somebody said, here's the principal of a school sitting and talking to the mathematics teacher, saying that why is the school result gone bad this year because of mathematics. So they are trying to negotiate and improve the mathematics between these 2 guys. The same 2 guys sitting, another guy made a story saying that here is the village panchayat sitting with his whatever secretary saying that we need to improve whatever water system, education system, this system, whatever system. It's a conversation between the village panchayat and the other person. The next one said that he is the corporate CEO of Infosys. He's sitting with his whatever and saying why is our revenue depleted this thing, and these are the reasons, so we need to do something about improving our revenue and all. There's another thing saying that here's the father sitting next to his son and counseling him for his future as to what he want to do and all that. So all this have got a pattern. All these stories have got a pattern. So here was another candidate who wrote the story. Here is the Venezuelan secretary sitting and talking to his Indian counterpart about the virtual money transfer of oil, Bitcoin, on how to transfer this. Now, how many of you have heard of virtual money? How many of you have heard of Bitcoin? While the concept was very nice, but I'm sure the GK would have never heard what is Bitcoin and virtual money. How many of you have heard of virtual money? So there are a few who have not heard of. So when you bring in a topic which may be very great, he will not, the others will discuss, the other poor fellow will keep thinking that my virtual money will become virtual. So what I'm trying to tell is, don't get a story out of the box which has a probability of no takers amongst the others in your discussion. That's the first. Otherwise, for the first 15 minutes, you'll be, or 5 minutes, you'll be only sitting and debating. Should I hold his debate or should I hold hers or his or whatever? And it will bargain, 10 minutes is gone. Okay. So be very clear, put the story simple, and make sure that the story has the probability of a taker or a couple of takers in your group, which means keep it socially simple.